like everyone's, there's a
Okay.
couple people, like, they're all over, and so it's so funny when it's like, oh, it's raining here, it's sunny here. It's like
We're going to the beach after this.
I know.
Like,
This is for Mia, and we all know you're sitting on the beach somewhere, probably sunbathing, and it's all warm. And here we are in freezing Tehachapi. It's like 40 degrees today. Anyway, all right, we're on page 31. Openers. In this book, you will learn 5 types of sentence openers. 5 ways to begin a sentence, basically. So this is another one of those style techniques. We know about dress ups, we know about band words, and now we're adding openers to our style of writing. Number 1 is a subject opener. And you can imagine it begins with the subject of the sentence. And sometimes there's an article or an adjective before the subject, but when the subject comes first, subject opener. And then you're going to mark it with a number 1. Notice the 2 examples here. Robin spotted a deer in the field. Robin is the subject, spotted is the verb. And then the swift deer leaped into the forest. So even though it starts with the, which is an article, swift, which is an adjective, the subject comes next, deer. So that is a subject opener. Okay. You're also going to do prepositional openers. If the spider comes down, you just tell us and we'll save your life,
That's
okay?
fine. I felt like I was in the corner.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And if you see it, let me know. I have a fly swatter, so
Now
I can get it. Now there's no
rain.
I'm ready for spiders though, okay. Prepositional, you already know what those phrases are. So if it starts with a prepositional phrase, it's called a prepositional opener. And that's a number 2. So your examples here, along the road, Robin walked quickly. Along the narrow and winding road, Robin walked quickly. Along the narrow and winding road toward Nottingham, Robin walked quickly. So that's showing you different types of prepositional openers. The first one does not have a comma because it's only 3 words. If it has 5 or more, let's see, count the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. So if it has 5 or more words in the prepositional phrase, you need a comma. The next one has 2 prepositional phrases in a row. And when you have that, you don't need a comma between. And then that's it for that page. Do you have any questions about those openers? No? There's a little bit more on the back. Page 32. Adverbs modify a verb, they add to a verb, so that's handy. Or an adjective or another adverb. An adverb tells how, when, where, why, or to what extent. In week 5, you learned that an adverb ends in ly. However, many adverbs do not end in ly. Some common examples include here, very, together, never, and soon. So here's your example. Robin usually had his bow with him. So an adverb often ends in ly. Usually, that's an easy one to identify. But the next one says Robin always had his bow with him. Some adverbs do not end in ly. The adverb always tells when. Okay, so that's an adverb too. And then the last example here, Robin did not have his own bow with him. That word not is an adverb. Yes, no, not, to function as adverbs. Okay, and then the example at the very bottom, Robin was very confident as he carefully aimed at the deer.
How do you know the difference between an adjective and a verb?
Good question. The easiest way for me is adverb, it adds to the verb. So what they say is it modifies the verb. So it'll go next to a verb usually. And it's describing a little bit more about how something is happening. Did I give you a note about that hideously?
Yeah.
That was your paper, huh? How did you put it in the sentence? I was trying to remember.
With a hideously large eye.
Yeah. Hideously, yeah. Hideously is an adverb, but the way you used it in that sentence, hideously large eye, that the word hideously is talking about the eye, right? And the eye is a noun. So that makes it an adjective, because remember how sometimes, girls, are you playing around right here in front of me? Okay, just checking. Sometimes a word can have a different function depending on how it is in the sentence. You know what I mean? So hideously could be an adverb or an adjective. It depends on where it is in the sentence. If it's telling about a noun, it's an adjective. If it's telling about a verb, then it's an adverb. Does that help you a little bit, Elizabeth?
Wait, so it's an adjective?
Yeah,
Like-
so it's an adjective the way you used it.
I just say adjective.
The word itself is an adverb, but
Yeah,
but it needed to go next to a verb, not a noun. I think I explained that, didn't I? I'll have to look at your note again. Now you're confusing me because it was probably like at 5:30 this morning. I'm like,
it was an a.m.
it was 7 a.m. It felt like 5:30, okay?
I had classes.
Oh man, that's
I
early.
do, it's early. For my teacher, it's 10, but. for me, it's 7.
Oh. Yeah, that would be rough.
But there's other kids at 7 too, so it's not only me.
So do you have to have your camera on at 7 a.m.? Oh man.
And my bed made because they can see it, and dressed, and like
Oh.
hair done, and like.
At least from the waist up, you have to look halfway
I
decent.
think
Yeah.
I like have a blanket on my eye.
There you go.
Like pajama pants.
That's how I would be.
Yeah. This, see, I'm comfy.
There you go. And your Uggs, yes, for sure. Okay, after class, show me that comment, because I want to make sure I wrote the right thing. Okay. Let's go to the practice page. This is on page 33. Anybody want to read it today?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
In anger, the forest speaker impulsively sprang to his feet and grabbed his bow and shot an arrow at Robin.
Good. Impulsively. You guys know what that means?
Yes.
What does it mean? Can somebody explain it?
Like instinctually.
Yeah, like that. Kind of like a knee-jerk reaction. Have you heard that phrase before? Like automatic. Okay,
If
articles.
you throw a ball at them, he's gonna automatically just wanna like guard.
Protect his head.
Yeah.
Yes, good. That's a good one. A, N, and the for the articles. Go ahead and find those two. Serena, how about the nouns?
Forester, feet, bow, arrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dang it, that's only 5. Anger,
Not anger.
not anger.
No.
Okay,
How'd you get 5? Let's see. You said,
there's,
oh, you're right. No, anger is. I'm sorry, Serena.
I'm like,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have anger, forester, feet, arrow, and robin. Is that what
Bow.
you have?
Bow.
Bow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Anger, forester, feet, bow, arrow, robin.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And then Olivia, how about the adjectives?
Adjectives.
Those describe the nouns, so it's best to look for the nouns and to see what words describe.
Spring.
That would be a verb. So remember adjectives, this is the other thing I wanted to tell you, Elizabeth, adjectives answer whose or how many or what kind.
Impulsively.
That's an adverb. Look at the noun, bow.
So be his.
Yes, even though, see, there's an example, his is a pronoun. But in this sentence,
Yeah.
it's an adjective, so ADJ. And then again, there's 2 hises. His feet and his
His
bow.
bow.
Yeah, those are both adjectives. And then Paisley, what about the adverb? Impulsively, yes. And that's pretty easy to find because it has the ly there. How about coordinating conjunction, Victoria?
And between bow and shot.
Good. And remember fanboys. Let's skip prepositional phrases for a second. And Oliver, how about verbs?
I did hear you say springs,
Yep,
Spring.
spring.
and grab,
Yes.
so we're gonna say grab the bow. Or-
Grabbed, so sprang, grabbed, and there's one more thing he does.
Oh, shot.
There you go, shot. So even though it says one subject verb pair, I want to explain there's only one subject, but then there can be more verbs than that. So, Elizabeth, what about the subject then for the sentence?
Forester?
Yes. So put an S on top of the N for Forester, you already got that.
Go on top of, in front of it.
I put it on top of the N like this. So you have the N, the labeling the noun, and then S on top of that. And let's go back to the prepositional phrase. Did you find it, Serena?
No.
I
Okay,
feel
here's a
so-
clue. Look for a word that doesn't have a label on it yet.
Um,
'Cause there's two of them, there's three of them there.
in anger, the forest.
In anger, just in anger. Remember, it stops on a noun, so that's one.
Yes, right. It was sweet.
There you go.
At Robin.
There you go, see? They're so easy to find once you like label everything. Perfect, good job. Now, openers, Olivia.
Opener.
It's just an opener.
At.
So look at the beginning of the sentence, in anger. Is that a subject opener or a prepositional opener? Yeah, because we underlined it, right? Because it is a preposition, and that's a number two. If you guys forget, go back to that learn it page that we did. So you're just gonna put two. Let me show you how this is gonna look. Prepositional. I kind of write it at an angle, which is fine, or straight, however you guys want to do it. So label it
For the
like this
anger? Or no, in.
on top of N.
Okay.
Because it's one big sentence, so you put it at the opener at the beginning of the sentence. So go ahead and write prepositional next to the two also. Okay, I know. Capitals, Paisley?
In
Good,
and Robin.
good. Commas, Victoria?
In between feet and grabbed, and then in tempo and
Yes. Because you're listing three things that he does, right? Yeah, whenever there's three or more, you put commas between. Very good. And then the end mark, Oliver,
At the end of Robin,
and what is it? What should it be?
period.
Good. Usually it's period. There you go. Any questions about that page?
Can you tell? Like, I feel like it all depends on the way you read it.
That's a good
Like,
point.
you could read it like, I don't know, like.
That's
That's dramatics.
That's true.
Or
And
this- And you shot an arrow.
But that depends,
Robin.
it also the comma also kind of depends on if you say in anger, the forester impulsively sprang, instead of in anger, the forester impulsively.
okay, let me come back to that, but let me start with Elizabeth's. Because you're right, it depends on, that's like when we're texting, we use exclamation points like when we're excited about something, even though the sentence is boring, right? So it should be more of like an interjection, not an interjection. Yeah, interjection. If it says something like, oh no, or watch out, or here they come, or something like that, where it's like an expression of excitement. This is just kind of telling what he did, even though it is exciting because he shot an arrow at Robin. But it still is a period. So exclamation points, I use them a lot in my texting, but really in writing, they're very rare. It's like you don't want to overuse them in writing. And then your comment, you were saying commas. Remember the rule we just talked about though, for a prepositional opener, if it's 5 or more words in the opener, then use a comma. If it's just 2, you don't need a comma after that, even though you pause a little bit when you say it, like in anger, the forester, you know, you tend to want to pause. That used to be the rule of thumb, to pause, but not anymore. There's rules now. So if you have 5 or more, then you need a comma. Got it? For now? Okay. She's like, yeah, I know, okay. It's okay. Grammar is like annoying. Oh, sorry for shaking your table. A quick test here. And I'm teaching it, and I'm saying it's annoying, so there you go. You guys know, the ones that took my class before, I'm always like, okay, time for grammar. Time for grammar, yay. All right, you guys. You wrote about, what did you write about?
Or did you like?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and get all that out. I don't have time to hear everybody's. I read those of you who are able to submit it online.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to print mine out.
It's okay. If I can only take 2 people to share their story today, if you want to.
I don't.
Oh.
I didn't actually.
I felt like I needed to. I was kind of doing.
I didn't get a chance to read it all yet.
That one, and so I'm a little unsure. I know, I was trying.
See, okay, I have some complaints about Olivia's papers. When are we going back to shortening how many sentences can be in a paragraph?
Did she go crazy?
This is, okay, second paragraph. Okay, and it ends.
Oh my gosh.
Look.
She had a lot to say, okay. Oliver?
So forgot his name, Paulie Feces or something, so his name
Did
is
you
Paulie the
double
Slug
space it?
Ball.
Yeah.
Maybe pronounce it pages.
My brother's pregnant.
Well, my students that one, this is the. Oh, you know what?
I said.
I made my reading size bigger.
Oh,
That's probably
Somebody
why.
else started.
So her page would really be less.
No, fine.
Yeah.
The wet one.
Oh, that's funny.
Wet one.
Oh, that's funny.
It was funny.
Polly the fluff ball?
Yes. He's trying to remember his name.
Yeah.
I just
Does
did
anybody
big
feel like
ball.
reading it? I can take 2 people
I
to read
did
it if
big
you want.
ball.
Okay, good. You don't have it with you?
You can
read.
I don't know if I can do it while I'm recording though.
Missy.
do you want
I'll
to?
have my-
You probably could, you just go out.
It's not that good.
Oh yeah, I totally can.
Yeah.
Out every week.
No, you guys don't have to print it out, but if you want to share it with a class, I would print it out, then it's easier to get to it.
Mine's not that good though, cause I was kind of rushing.
Okay. All
I
right.
know, because I
I
took
want-
mine.
Oh,
like,
no, wait.
The night before, like the night.
Wait, Victoria, have you ever seen?
It didn't attach, Oliver. It's not
I'm
here.
like, no.
I don't think my mom
This is like a bad guy. Sorry.
I don't see it on here. Next
My
week.
name
Missy.
is-
Next week.
is-
Yes.
Pretty sure I did my homework yesterday
I
at
know,
like 9 p.m. But
I know.
Oh,
it might have been.
Oh, yes, we had a complaint about the time due date.
really? Does it need to be later than that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
Midnight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can do that. Cause I usually don't grade them until the next morning anyway, so.
Okay, thank you.
I'll
Good.
Because
Because,
the day before.
You're welcome.
because I was not home.
So that when I
until-
wake up, it's ready I can read it. I can only
Four.
give you a date, a time.
I think it was like 4.
All right, I'm gonna read Victoria's. You want me to read yours?
Yeah.
I have my opinion noted.
Once there was a man named Odysseus. He was a good little soldier and always very curious. He and his comrades were on their way home from a very great war, which they had just won. As they were partying, a storm began to form above their heads. They would have been shipwrecked if it wasn't for a lookout who spotted land. They quickly made it to shore and took cover in a giant grove of pines. They had landed on a very strange island that Odysseus had never seen before, and Odysseus, being curious like he was, wanted to find out what sort of beasts lived there, so they stumbled upon a cave. They decided to take refuge in the cave for the night. The cave belonged to a very well-known Cyclops, whose name was Polyphemus. Polyphemus, yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Polyphemus? Okay. Polyphemus.
Yeah.
You're right, Polyphemus. Polyphemus. He was a common Cyclops shepherd, but seemed rather disturbing. Rather disturbing. When he returned to his cave that night, he started a fire, for he was chilled to the bone with the storm brewing outside. He saw with his one freakishly large eye the men huddled in a corner, terrified, all except Odysseus, who was greatly curious as to what this large beast must be. Then one of the men whispered his answer, "A Cyclops." Odysseus was amazed. Polyphemus asked the men excitedly, "Are you pirates or traitors?" Odysseus responded, "No, we are in fact soldiers returning from a great war." He went to tell him the whole story. The Cyclops seemed unimpressed with his story, so he simply gobbled up 2 of Odysseus's men. He was greatly hungry, which caused him to be grumpy, and he soon fell into a fitful sleep. And so Odysseus, along with his remaining men, thought up a plan of escape. They sharpened a pole, and the next morning, Odysseus suffered from. Wait. Why is there a 1 here? Oh, footnote.
Yeah, it's a footnote.
Story of where they found this pole is rather gory, and I would rather not share in this story. However, if you really want to know, contact me personally. Okay. Now I'm really curious. And the next morning, Odysseus offered some wine to the Cyclops. He greedily took the cup. Halfway through the glass, he spoke to Odysseus. "If you tell me your name, I will give you a gift." So Odysseus responded, "My name is no one. Now my gift?" "Ha," says the Cyclops. "Now your gift shall be eaten last." And he drinks his wine until his glass is emptied. So the Cyclops falls into an extremely deep sleep. The men heeded the pole. Odysseus and the bravest men among them climbed onto his heaving chest. I'm having trouble reading. It's not you, it's me. Passed the pole up and plunged it into the Cyclops' only eye. Liquids spewed from his eye. As they pulled the pole out, Polyphemus screamed in agonizing pain. He started shouting to the neighbors, "Help, my eye! No one has stabbed me in the eye." The Cyclops answered, "If you can't see,
Finally realized what that meant. Oh, okay, sorry.
if you can't see anyone, then it must
No.
be the gods, in which case our help shall be useless." The next morning, when Polyphemus was heading out to graze his herd of sheep, which were starving because he didn't have food all day, they didn't have food all day yesterday. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. In order that no man could escape, he opened the door a smidge and felt the sheep's backs as they filed out of the cave. But Odysseus had outsmarted the Cyclops once more. As the sheep filed through the door, the men held onto the undersides of the largest rams, who were not too happy about this. Then the men would run like mad for the boat. As they were sailing away, Odysseus shouted loudly across the ocean, "You are evil and deserve much more suffering than I have caused you." In rage, Polyphemus threw a gigantic boulder that nearly missed their ship and almost sent them back to shore. Once more, Odysseus shouted across the waves, "One more thing, my name is not no one, but if anyone who asks who destroyed your eye, say it's none other than Odysseus of Ithaca." And once again, Polyphemus became enraged and threw another giant boulder. This one practically pushed them to the other shore, their homeland. Good
If you
job.
want to read mine, you can. It's
That's
kind
good. I want to know how they found the pole. Ah.
You haven't made it up yet.
That's all right. I'm so curious though. Yours?
Like a random.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just made it.
It's really good though.
Okay.
It's some of it's not like accurate.
No, I liked it. I liked
Some's
yours.
not accurate, kind of though.
You
like,
changed it a little bit?
a
That's
little
okay.
bit, like I kind of put.
I feel like I changed it too much.
Oh, no, it's okay to change it. You pretty much retold the story, but you added a few extra details. So if you changed it,
I like it. I have time and I chopped off a lot.
I only have time for one more. So whose should I read?
Well, you have to grade mine at the end, so.
Okay.
Oh, and just so you know, we have a lot of the same underlined words.
Okay, that's
We
fine.
worked on it together.
Okay, that's cool. Exactly what Odysseus had said is your title. Once there was a brave band of soldiers coming home from battle. Their captain was a man named Odysseus. He was a very courageous and clever leader. Then a mighty storm suddenly hurled them into a giant island. Little did they know it was actually the island of Cyclops. A cyclops is a massive giant with one big eye in the center of its head. Most of the cyclops raised sheep, which made them shepherds. One cyclops in particular, whose name was Polyphemus, lived in a cave on a large island, and one day Odysseus and his men stumbled across the cave with Polyphemus when Polyphemus was in the fields taking care of his sheep. The men started a small fire and all huddled in the corner of the cave. When the Cyclops came to the cave and saw the smoke, he knew someone was in the cave. This infuriated him and made him angry before he even entered. When he reached the cave and saw the men, he furiously shouted, "What do you want?" The men, slightly shocked by the big creature, exclaimed, just a place to lodge for the night." Then Polyphemus asked, "Are you pirates?" Odysseus replied, "No, we are soldiers coming home from war." Then the Cyclops picked up the two men nearest to him and tore them from limb to limb and devoured them in one bite. A small cry rose from all the soldiers, which made Polyphemus exceedingly pleased. And seeing that the men feared him, he laid down and slept. While the Cyclops slept, Odysseus and his men made a plan of escape. He and his men sharpened a pole until it was extremely sharp, and then they hid it in the cave. The next day, Polyphemus left to the fields again, but before he left, he put a large stone in the doorway so that the men could not escape while he was gone. While he was gone, the men worked on their plan. When Polyphemus came home, he asked Odysseus for his name. Odysseus then replied, "My name is no one." Then Odysseus pulled out some rich wine that he had brought with him. Then when Polyphemus saw that, he deeply desired for some of the wine and decided to make a deal with him. He said to Odysseus, "I will give you a gift for the wine." So Odysseus gave him the wine, and when he had drunken all of the wine, Odysseus asked for the gift. The Cyclops laughed a bone-chilling laugh at that moment. Odysseus knew that he had been tricked. Polyphemus said with a hint of humor in his voice, "Your gift is that I will eat you last." And then he fell into a drunken sleep. As he slept, the men and Odysseus got the pole and snuck close and plunged the pole into the center of the Cyclops' eye. Polyphemus, who had a pole in his eye, immediately woke up and began to scream horrifically. That's a good one. He raced out of the cave screaming, "Help, help, we are under attack." The next day he went to his sheep to the field. He went to take his sheep to the field. And as they left the cave, he touched their backs for he feared that men would try to escape, but the men grabbed onto the stomach of the large rams and escaped. As they began to sail away, Odysseus screamed, "May evil follow you forever, you evil beast." The Cyclops, hearing this, became exceedingly angry and began to run down to the shores. When he reached the sea, he picked up large stones and tried to throw them at the ship. But Polyphemus missed, and when Odysseus and his men were almost out of earshot, Odysseus shouted, "And if anyone should ask you, who did that terror to your eye, you shall say it was Odysseus from over the sea, the mighty warrior." And the Cyclops threw one more large stone, the largest of them all, at the ship, and made a wave so big that it carried them to the other shore. And that Cyclops lived a hard and evil life until he died. Whenever someone asked him of the horror of his eye, he would say exactly what Odysseus had said. Nice, very good. And you had ly adverbs and who, which clauses, and
I think I have
strong
a
verbs.
roundabout.
I got my strong verbs mixed up with final verbs.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Well, hold on,
good job.
I think.
Yeah, so you should have 3 underlined in each. I think
Yeah.
that's what okay. So,
My mom also said she'll turn on the big forehead.
Okay. I know. She told me that. I'm not worried about it whenever you guys get a chance. In your stuff though, get out that blue page. Yeah, the band words page that we started
So I
last week.
have them from one of the other classes, so I went back and I was like, I have it already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you found it?
Yeah. 'cause then-
We're gonna add one, actually two. On your blue band words page, it's gonna be think. Thought on the next one. You can't use that anymore, think thought.
That's a sad story.
And then the other one is. Seesaw.
We did that already.
Did we do seesaw?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
Yes,
Yeah, we did.
See, stop.
You did say, said, seesaw.
Whoa, sorry guys. I said
Do
the
you
wrong
want-
thing.
Where were you?
Oh,
Paisley doesn't have it either, so you better put it on there.
Seesaw.
Okay, you should have, let me see all of them.
Say, said, seesaw, think. So I'm putting down think.
Say,
and
said,
thought.
seesaw, yeah, and think thought. Okay, so think thought, what can we put for that? Something that happens inside your head, right?
pondered.
Good, pondered,
Believed.
okay, believed, good. Wondered. Wait, what did you say?
Oh, I just don't think. Sorry, I was writing the word, but then I just.
Your inside voice became your outside voice for a second?
Yeah, apparently.
Accepted.
Oh, yeah, accepted.
Slept on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's always
well,
used.
You don't like accepted?
I mean, it's not really like, synonym for think thought.
It does happen inside of your head though, doesn't
It
it?
can be like,
I mean, well, yeah, but you mostly say
it
it out
depends on how you use it.
loud. Like, welcome to
Mhm.
whatever it is.
Oh, let's put a question mark by accepted. We'll think about that one for a minute. Considered.
Regarded.
Regarded.
That's a good one.
I'm not even copying that. No.
From
the
That's
guy
right.
who wrote the book.
That's right. That's all right. You can still say it. Did I spell regarded right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, where did you find that?
Oh, she took this
So
class.
I did
Before, a
online
different-
class. We had the videos from the guy who wrote the book.
Oh, that's.
Yeah.
But
we
so I
did
it
that
with my
too.
brother, and so I have the.
They started it, but yeah.
previous list.
I should go
Mhm.
see if I can find my list.
I know. I
Hope
think I
is
did.
one.
This morning, I'm like, oh, I wanted them so bad.
Okay, realized. We'll stop there. That's a pretty good sized list, but you can always go to thesaurus.com to check. And then if you want to get the app, I think I told you about the app last week, right?
Yeah.
The IEW is like a tools app.
Yes.
If you guys want that, I don't know if you can get apps or not, but I can show you how to do that. Okay, that now is going to go behind band words tab. So we're done adding to that for now.
So
That
the
blue
tab for
page,
band word.
there's a tab in the back for band words.
Right, smash.
Oh, good.
We haven't used that one yet.
I did stick fingers.
Can you take a picture of that?
Yeah.
Your writing's so tiny.
I know she has a picture already.
Yeah,
I want to be able to fit later on, like
yeah.
the more and more. Cause last time I didn't do it small enough and then like,
Is it okay that I put like these pages in the back too?
Those are gonna get, those are your LY words, right?
Yeah, I have LI adverb and then adverbs.
Yeah, those go behind stylistic techniques. Is that where you have it?
I just want to remember good words, because these ones were from the other book.
Oh, okay.
They're just inputting them on this one.
It's okay if that makes sense to put in there, but I'm gonna have you guys put the pink ones once you get those behind stylistic techniques, but for now, don't worry about that yet. But for the Odysseus, the Cyclops and Odysseus and the Cyclops, put that behind finished compositions, yeah.
I had it in work in progress.
But yeah, you can move it to finished compositions, and I like that overview page on top, but any order behind that is fine.
There's so many. Okay.
Yeah, there you go in the back of that. I think eventually we might have to get bigger binders, like,
I know.
This binder is
bigger
kind
ones.
of bad because the ring doesn't open very well.
I know, kind of worried about that,
Is
because
it like, is it like?
Okay,
it's
this
like- ah,
Your
like-
favorite- I don't
So they know.
Yeah.
Mine.
you have to have your binder
up
flat.
though.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like how you have to like click both of the buttons to
Go
open.
ahead and get out the next week. Which is the ox and the hearts. No, the heart in the ox stall. I said it backwards.
Where's
It's like a deer.
Oh, got it.
the heart?
So it's week 6.
Did they spell
The heart. Yeah, HART is like a deer.
It's a different kind of part.
Mhm.
Not a
So-
literal heart.
Week 6, you're gonna get out all those pages. I think there's 4 pages total. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep.
Wait,
All of week.
Okay. All of week 6, yes. And we're gonna look at the checklist really
I
quick.
did that one online, but I don't remember doing it.
Is this?
Which
all-
one?
We did that one in
No, we
front of
did.
your.
This is
No, I
the
remember
small
now.
Okay.
part.
This should.
I know,
not.
it's a very short story compared to the Odysseus story. We're looking at the checklist first, which is page 59, so go ahead and look at that one. Oh, you don't have a whole punch, huh?
Watch, mine will be a whole page.
Well,
just like
I
that.
do at home, I just never did
It's
it.
okay.
Well.
I keep
it's-
forgetting to bring one here
Oh,
too.
I like what's crazy. Stress me out.
What is imposter?
We'll talk about that in a second. Look at page 59 first, which is the checklist.
How about elaborate?
Dress ups, you have 3 still. I wanted to point that out to you guys. So each paragraph is gonna have 3 words underlined, the LY adverb,
How am I missing that?
who, which.
I think-
Oh, you forgot to get
Wait,
out.
we're making 3 paragraphs out of that short. story?
Yes,
I would
we're
rather get a small one and look at more elaborate than take a big one and have to like.
try to condense it. Yeah, that's harder to do,
I didn't
exactly.
drop on
This will
things,
be a
but-
little easier for you guys.
Yeah.
No, I did.
I did not have these.
They were nice to you this time though, and they gave you a really nice LY adverb list. That's the pink page, so let's look at
I
that.
love these lists.
Yay.
It's like the other half of my brain written out on paper.
And they left you a bunch of lines, so you can add to that. At the bottom, and Serena pointed it out, they have the word imposters. Let's just talk about that just for a second. But what is the word imposters? What does that mean, imposter? Anybody know how to explain that? An imposter is when somebody's acting like somebody else. They're trying to be somebody else,
Like
like.
the eagle on the jackson. Kind of.
Yeah,
Well,
kind of, yeah,
really.
but I'm thinking of, have you ever been to Hollywood and you're walking around on the streets of Hollywood and then you see
Like
Jack
that.
Sparrow, right?
I was thinking.
Oh my gosh,
Elvis,
yeah,
so-
that was.
And they dress up, they look just like him, but it's not really Johnny Depp, it's some guy pretending to be Jack Sparrow, but it's not the real Jack Sparrow, right?
Yeah.
But that's an imposter, so he's acting like him, it sounds like him, dressed like him, but it's not really him. That's what an imposter is. So these are words that look like LY adverbs because they have LY at the end, but they're not adverbs. So words like chilly, friendly, ghastly, ghostly, holy, kingly, knightly, lonely, lovely, orderly, prickly, queenly, surely, ugly, worldly, wrinkly. Those are all LY words, but they are not adverbs. Because these words describe nouns, which makes them adjectives, right? Her face was wrinkly. Or the dog was ugly, even though I don't think there's ever an ugly dog. They're cute, all of them.
Yeah.
What?
I said pit bulls.
Oh. Sometimes they're cute though. I was thinking those slobbery dogs. They're probably,
Yeah.
you know.
Or the wrinkly dogs are also.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think they're kind of cute.
They're kind of cute.
They're
but
kind of
ugly.
so ugly, they're cute. You know what I mean? When you go like to the tipping point of ugliness and then you're like, oh. poor
Feel
thing.
bad for that.
Feel bad for them.
That's like.
Oh,
That's ugly, just ugly.
And
They
these
are, they
dogs
look
with
like
no
aliens.
cuteness.
They're inside out.
I have friends who they're like, oh, we don't really like cats, but we really want one of those. I'm like, what?
Of all the
All
cats,
you.
yeah. I don't want like the shedding and all that, but it's not worth it.
I mean, I get it if you're like allergic to cats.
Go ahead and get a light piece of paper out. Yeah, I hear that, Serena. If you're allergic,
Allergic to cats.
Then don't get a cat. I don't care. Don't get a cat.
don't get a hairless one.
Get
Just
a
don't.
You can get cats that don't shed that still have hair.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah, but
Or
still,
Yeah,
the
my
dog still.
My dog is,
be,
he
they'll
doesn't
still
shed,
have allergies.
but he still has fur.
Yeah.
Like our friends or like the nieces,
But
they
it still
have,
gets all over the place.
it's all, it doesn't shed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All
just,
right, we're
like,
gonna
cut them, 'cause then it's like
build
their
our
hands,
story
they
sequence
cut them
chart
off
here.
their hands.
The heart in the ox stall. Go ahead and put the date, skip a line. You know what to do. Do you remember what SSC stands for?
Story sequence.
What is it?
She's stealing all the punchlines today. You need to just hold it in, Serena. Yes, is that what you were about to say?
About the cats thing, one of our cats actually had kittens.
Oh, yeah?
A wildcat, so we're like walking in the bathroom, like, there's like 7 kittens or something.
Oh, no. You didn't even know she was
You
pregnant?
didn't even know.
Oh, my gosh. What did you do with all of them?
We gave away to like friends and family.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so sad, being the little one, she disappeared.
Aww.
The little like.
Oh, the
calico one? Like, she just
Aw.
gone, and it was so sad.
Draw a line a little to the left of your paper.
Probably dead. Probably.
Yes.
Remember how we set this up last week? We're gonna do Roman numeral 1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and the heater came on. It's kind of hot now. Or
No,
does
I
it
brought
feel
it back
good?
because I thought it was gonna be cold. I'm like, I don't know if there's a heater in there or not. It might be
There is,
cold.
but we usually don't put
And
it
then
on.
It's gonna be so cold.
Is it hot right now to you
But my
guys or you're
grandma was
okay?
saying that I didn't have left and it's so-
You're good?
I'm
I know,
like-
because you're always
Like
cold.
it-
huh?
I'm always cold.
I'm
I can be-
fine, but
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I can
tell
be
me if you
cold
guys get
too,
hot.
except for like
If-
summer, I guess.
if you're hot, you can turn it off too.
I'm okay at the moment, but if I get too hot, I might have to just do that. Go ahead and draw your line across on top of the Roman numerals here. And then at the very bottom.
23.
I know, weird, huh?
Very weird. It would be weird if it
Oh,
was 23.
You know what's even weirder?
Yeah, that would.
The last day of December will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you actually.
Wait,
Because 12,
Wait.
31st, 20.
oh, I never thought about that. She's saying like this, December 21st. 31st. Right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah,
Wow.
I didn't think about that. We'll have to, that's New Year's Eve, so. Do something, I don't know. Go 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know. How do we celebrate that?
I don't know. I don't think I mean, it's pretty rare because it's like.
It is rare.
Because it's like once in a decade, or not a decade, once in a, century, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. That is weird. So this will be the only time in your whole entire life that that will happen. Same here.
Unless you live to be 123.
Is there anybody that's lived that long yet?
I don't
Yes.
think so.
Seriously?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, recently.
Oh, in the Bible. In the Bible.
Yeah.
Wait,
Not anymore.
Queen Elizabeth, think about that.
How old is
No,
she? It seemed like she was
There's like 99 or something.
My grandpa-
Oh, there's a spider.
What goes in the, oh.
No, thank
Why
you.
told you?
Nothing
Yeah,
to do
I
with-
told you.
I'm sorry.
They
Somebody
had- I told you there was
Black.
babies.
No, it's not.
Was it over there earlier? It
No,
was-
no,
it's
there.
still over.
It's still over there.
There's 2 of us?
There's just.
Cry.
I'm gonna try not to.
One day I
Nothing-
become another.
Wow.
Man, just missed that action.
Well, it's okay, you can repaint.
You could just also
Oh my gosh.
take a wet
Reach that.
napkin.
Okay, I'll get it later.
Wait, is this a house?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's Victoria and Olivia's house.
I mean, we don't live in this house, but we own it, yeah.
They live in the house up the road. Okay, back to what we were doing. Let's see. I just saved your lives. You're welcome. Okay, what goes in the first box here? In this box, what do we talk about first when we introduce a story? We introduce who?
The people.
Yes, which are called,
Character slash setting.
thank you, characters slash setting, however you can squeeze that in there. What questions do we ask to find out those?
Who?
Who?
What, when, where.
Actually, where, not what yet.
And then
Who,
when?
when, there you go. Who, where, when.
Well, I was reading this because it's got who, what, when, where, and then it's
Oh.
what, who, what.
They're kind of mixed in.
Wait, what?
I think they have what are they like?
Yeah, cause it's
What-
like,
yeah.
who's in the story, what are they like, when did it happen, where did they?
She has all the resources back there, you guys, man. Okay, so everybody, let me hear somebody other than Elizabeth, because she's got her cheat sheet there. What goes in the middle box?
Conflict/problem.
Conflict/problem. I'm just teasing you, you
And
know.
then
I
climax.
love that you have that actually, because you're super prepared. Resolution. What questions do we ask here? Or what?
Wait, what? It's conflict/resolution.
Yeah,
Oops.
conflict/resolution.
Wait a
Like,
minute, I have to write.
what did you put?
Conflict/problem.
That's what I
Oh.
put too.
Oh,
Because somebody said conflict.
That's what I said, and then you're like, yeah,
I mean, it's
it
not
is problem, it is problem,
You
because
kidding
then the
me?
bottom is cause.
I was just testing you guys.
Climax and resolution.
Really, I was just testing you. Yes.
Then
Yeah,
climax.
Good.
and
Thank you,
resolution.
Serena. You found my trick. Okay, the last one.
And
Okay.
resolution.
Are you sure?
Climax.
Spell resolution.
RESOLUTION.
Are you sure you were just missing those?
Yes, of course. That's what teachers do.
Uh-huh.
And then what question do we ask here? Elizabeth? Go ahead, Elizabeth. I called her first.
Like, how do you solve the problem?
Yes, how solved. Is that what you were gonna say?
Yes.
Okay.
Household.
How solved.
Oops.
Characters and setting, conflict problem, climax resolution. Remember, we talked about Kung Fu Panda. I always give that analogy. So that's what we're doing again for this one. And somebody already pointed out how short this story is. This is an Aesop's fable, by the way.
Well,
And it's a story that's been passed around. There's a lesson you can learn from it. And a couple of things. One is a hart is a male deer that is at least 5 years old. So if anybody is a hunter or knows somebody who's a hunter, do you know how to tell how old a deer is? A male deer?
Yeah.
Yes. How many points on their antlers tells how old they are? See?
It's only.
I knew somebody would know hunting language there, so, and you can see them when they're roaming around Tehachapi, you can kind of tell how old they are with how big how many points they have. All right. And then an ox is a strong male cattle farm animal. They're just really strong and used for pulling things usually.
Big, buff,
Big,
big. I don't
just
know.
really, really, really big and strong. Yes, and then another word you're going to see in here is truss. A truss is a pile or a bundle, and it's talking about a truss of hay. That's what that means, a pile of hay. And you can see the picture down there. So a hart, hotly pursued by hounds, fled for refuge into an ox stall, wherein it buried itself in a truss of hay, leaving nothing to be seen but the tips of his horns. Soon after, the hunters came up and asked if anyone had seen the hart. The stable boys, who had been resting after their dinner, looked around but could see nothing, and the hunters went away. Shortly afterwards, the master came in and looking around, saw that something unusual had taken place. He pointed to the truss of hay and said, "What are those two curious things sticking out of the hay?" And when the stable boys came to look, they discovered the hart and soon made an end to him. They thus learnt that nothing escapes the master's eye. I know, I'm sorry. Forgot to tell you the sad one.
How would they not?
No, I read it.
notice that the pile of hay had like tripled in size?
Exactly.
Oh, there was a little pile of hay on the ground. Now it's a giant pile.
Like, how did it grow?
Hello, it multiplied.
A heart?
Multiplied.
Yeah. So this is like a sneak peek to just you guys. This is just like a cutaway of the pile of hay right there.
We open a cake.
Yeah, there you go. So really what they saw was a pile of hay with these antlers sticking up, and that was it. Those antlers to me look more like a moose.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know, that's kind of what I think too, but the nose is not big enough. They have big noses, don't they?
Yeah,
Moose.
I've never actually seen them.
All right, so what lesson can we learn from this fable?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That he doesn't live in the country.
I should probably not
Look,
this
Lisa.
time.
Wait, Oliver, what did you say?
Nothing escapes death.
Nothing escapes death. Okay, that's true. Yeah. Well, that's
Nothing
true if you think about
escapes
it.
death.
Like that spider. For instance.
Escaping death, though.
That was.
And there's still one over there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just sitting there.
Yeah, but you can't slap it because that's on the fire.
That'll fall down into her bag and
I
then,
mean, you
That
can
would not be
slap it.
anyway,
You could.
what were you gonna say, Elizabeth, as far as the lesson?
I
Come on.
was gonna say,
Okay, what about you?
You have to look closer to actually see.
Nothing escapes the master's eye. That means the master is the one that owns the place, right? And in charge of the stable. Stable boys are basically boys that work on the farm, right? They work in the stables. So, you
Yeah,
can't,
there was stable girls.
there probably
probably
were. Yeah, and there are now, but of course, this was an old story. But there are,
Is that
yeah.
an ox or is that a horse?
And the
Behind
hay?
Man, no, behind the man, next to
Behind the man?
fence.
Oh, it's a dog. Just a dog.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like through the door.
that's like a miniature horse looking thing.
Yeah, it's a dog. Got like a little.
That's a weird tail for a dog. though.
So, starting at the beginning, who
She becomes a dog.
are the characters
Yeah,
that are
Shepherd dog.
in this story? Let's start here. Who are we talking about?
The heart.
The heart,
Hunters.
H-A-R-T.
I feel like it's not starting with the heart though, it's starting with,
Well, it starts out there, who's chasing the heart?
well, I have a great open house.
The hounds.
Start out the whole story with like.
The backstory of how they hunted and
There you
found the
go.
heart.
Cause you're right, you be thinking of your own version of this.
Like, well, how would you start the story with heart? Like, I feel like you would need, like, the hounds are like, ran by a hart, hotly pursued by hounds. with
Here's,
their masters on their tails. Or
there
something.
you go. Here's the thing though, this time you guys can completely change the characters. They don't have to be the same heart and ox and all that. You can have
Evil.
a cowboy, yeah, and I don't know, a horse and a cowboy. You could have aliens. I don't know.
No.
You can, no, that's kind of dumb, huh? Unless you like alien ideas or whatever. Or what else could you do? Like, maybe it could be like a miniature world, and it could be like
Legos.
Legos.
You mean like the
I was thinking like fleas or something, you know. It's something really miniature. Anyway.
Running from a fly swatter.
There
Why
you
would you
go.
from a fly swatter?
Running away from Mississippi. Anyway, okay. So we've got, where do they go? They're here. Where's the setting again? Where are they at?
In the forest.
Barn, forest. They're in the forest,
Should we?
and then they run to a barn, right?
Quick question, if you're gonna change it, should you write your outline in the changed version or change it from outline to paragraph? Change it from outline to paragraph.
You can change it from the outline, and if it helps you to have an outline, you can do one like right next to it of your version of the characters and stuff. That's okay too.
Change it right now.
'Cause then if
right
you-
before-
No, because if you wrote your thing now, you might not like something you did in your pure outline. If you, and you wanted to change your mind and you're like, now I have this whole outline. I don't wanna follow."
I'm just gonna copy it.
I
and
think you
then-
can do it. This is like free flow right here. This is creative writing. Once we get into academic writing, it's a little more strict on this. But you can change it as you go, Elizabeth, if you want to. That's okay with me.
It's more work, cause I like to like think.
Yeah.
I really think about.
If you want to really think about, you might
I
just
think of
do,
like the end of the story and the beginning of the story and then filling it in and making it all the same.
okay,
And making it make sense is what.
yeah,
where I-
that's where it's
I just
tricky.
start at the beginning and go through.
So the forest running is being chased by the hounds, right? They're in the forest. And they run into the barn and he hides in the hay. I'm saying he because it's a male deer. And then the hunters are like, has anybody seen? Remember the hunters come in next, so we gotta put them here. Hunters. Has anybody seen the heart? And what do the stable boys say?
Nope.
No,
They like do a quick.
They saw nothing.
No.
they were resting at dinner, right?
You
The
can do
stable
little eyeballs
boys.
for Sue Heart and stuff.
I'm gonna put stable boys and
And for
dinner.
heart, you could draw a heart.
Oh, yeah, you could.
If you put a hyphen between stable boys, you can write rest.
Oh, ah. Is there a hyphen though with stable boys?
You
You could put one in there. I don't know about that. That's changing it. You could put a stick figure laying down, resting. And some Z's. I don't know. All right, okay, so we ran out of time. So here's my question for you.
What do you mean already?
It's already 3:45. So I was originally gonna have you just focus on the first paragraph of the story. Then we can kind of slow down a little bit. So what if we wait on these two for next week? And you just, if you want to completely change this, do another keyword outline for your new version of it with your characters, new setting, and that's going to help you write it. So let's just focus on the first paragraph. We're going to slow it down a little bit. Just introduction paragraph, the first paragraph, only
So wait.
one. So you can really take your time.
So we're writing only the first paragraph?
Yes.
Oh, so
So it's
we're
not
still
as
writing
much.
the first paragraph.
You're still writing the first paragraph. We're gonna
It's gotta be
wait
spelled.
until next week on these two, okay?
Okay.
We're gonna wait on these
That is
two. You're just gonna
completely
focus on paragraph one. You can't, if you're having trouble getting creative, you can just rewrite this story exactly how it was or close to what it was. But if you like the idea of changing characters and setting and a situation, you can change all of that. Yeah. So either way, you get to decide. Now the checklist, let's look at the checklist really, really fast. Oh, no, we already looked at it. Banned words, stay away from those. You have ly adverbs, who, which clauses, and strong verbs. So you should have 3 words underlined in your paragraph. What else do I need to tell
It's
you?
so hard when we get to a lot of words we can't use.
I know,
Yeah.
And then it's like, you definitely forming.
top box only. So that's what we
Like,
did.
they do use these words in stories, like every book you read is gonna have them in it. But it's just
Yeah.
not gonna
My bike is
add more.
Okay, so your grammar, use your usual 3 pages, and then just the first paragraph. That's all you guys got to do. So wait on the title because that comes from the final sentence. So you
Yeah.
can just wait on that part. That's
That's
it. Did I want to? Oh, yeah. And I also said, oh, let me turn this off.
Bye.
Bye, Mia. You can say bye. Ah, she'll love that.